Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talks with Todd.
Yeah, welcome back. Hey man, it's been a time. My bad, y'all. I've been missing the action, but it's a reason for that, man. Life been lifing, things been happening. Kids keeping me busy and everything, and I'm handling other stuff that I will talk to y'all about on a later date. But listen, today we about to have a great show. Shout out to my award-winning engineer, Telly. What's going on?
Hey everybody. Hey.
So, shout out to you because you came up with this great topic just earlier. So this is great.
Yes.
So, we about to get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So, I hope y'all ready for another great topic. It's just me and Telly today, no guests. We about to get in the comments. Y'all can call in. The number will be up soon. And we about to get right to it. Should your marriage or relationship make it to social media is the topic of the day. So, Telly.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
So, I have mixed reviews on it. I don't think that you necessarily have to have your relationship be on social media. However, I don't feel like people should not know that you are not in a relationship.
Facts.
So you don't have to publicly, announce it or whatever the case may be, but the respect should be there so that people should know that you are in a relationship for sure. And then they move accordingly due to that.
I agree.
But every post, every move, every moment that you guys share, I don't feel like social media has to see it. But I do know that people is like, hey, well, why aren't you posting me? Why aren't you sharing me? Or things like that. So I can see it from both sides. The older me now is like, I don't really have to have it. Before, it was a thing for me. Like you had to post me.
I believe in having more of a balance if you're gonna do that type of thing. Like now that you see, before I was in the light that I'm in right now, I didn't mind sharing and all that stuff, but this is in a previous relationship. Mm-hmm. Now that I'm in this light, as much as I love sharing my wife, talking about my wife and everything like that, now that I'm in this light for real and I gotta be on social media, I try to keep her out of it as much as possible, but I also make it visible, like, hey, this is very much a thing. And yeah, it's like that. So I believe in just popping out every once in a while with a picture or something like that, or at least saying something to remind people, because some people act real stupid and act like they got amnesia, like they don't know, somebody married. So I got to remind people.
That's
so
true.
I do think that it's okay to have more of a balance, but you don't have to put your significant other in the public eye all the time, especially if they're not in the public eye. So
that's the thing.
Yeah, my wife is very private. So with her being private, she could care less about being.
So just respecting her in that magnitude. I do know some people that are private and they're like, hey, I don't want to be on your socials. I don't want to be in the limelight. I don't, and you have to respect that though. So I think that keeping that balance is good.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you are, in the industry where you do be on social media and post and people are tagging you in things and clips and videos. So I think that balance is good.
Yeah,
so.
Me too. Definitely. Like, I think that, see, if my wife was in the light, then it'd be totally different, because then we gonna both be doing the same thing.
That's true.
Even if she wasn't a podcaster, let's just say she was an actress. She would very much be getting seen just as much as I am, if not more.
That's true. And then some people don't even like that. They may be like, hey, I've been seen on social media, on camera. I just want to be behind the scenes, because this is the only time that I'm able to with my personal life, because I'm in the, industry or whatever, where you are an actress or actor, artist or anything like that. So
absolutely. I agree. I do think too, like, when it comes down to sharing who you're with, is best to do it when, like, especially like, well, first of all, it's best to have a conversation first. Like, have that conversation, see if they're into that type of thing. Like, because if they're not really social media savvy or they frequent on social media either, it would kind of defeat the purpose. But that conversation is
necessary.
needed. Yeah.
I think so too. That way they don't be blindsided by anything, whatever it is that's posted on social media. And I'm sure it's nothing going to be, going to be bad, but just so they can know prior to you posting it. So when it's out there, they can be like, oh yeah, I already knew about it. Or if somebody be like, hey, did you see? Yeah, I already knew. We already had a conversation about it. So I do think that is healthy to do.
Yeah, just like Brittany just said, depends on the couple. I agree. Like, it does depend on the couple.
That's a good point,
and
too.
That's what I was saying too. If two people was in that light, and they was probably gonna be on that type of time with each other anyway, always being seen with or without each other, because their job is to post and be seen sometimes. And I know, Brittany, you one of those people that you stick to your private life being private, so I get that too.
And I respect that.
Me too. It took me time to respect it though. Well, no, I respected it. It just took me time to understand it.
Yeah.
But I definitely understand it now. But you are in movies, you do your thing, and then boom, you just chill. You know what I'm saying? You every once in a while you'll get on social media, and then next thing you know, all right, I'm gone. Next thing you know, a movie out. I love that. That's fire to me. So I think that if you was to be with somebody in the industry, something like that could be happening. Like, all right, you know what? And I know that ain't your bag, but just in case it ever happens, I would totally understand you moving the same way that you move right now. So that's dope. I think it's dope. And I think that, keeping your person off social media will keep unwanted attention.
I think so. Because think about it like this. Whenever you post, and not you in particular, but whenever couples post on social media, themselves versus the couple, the likes change drastically. Like, where's that same love that you were showing, the individual party, but then when they, show they couple, then it's ghosts, it's crickets, no likes, no love. And it's like, that's how is you really rocking with it. So to eliminate all of that, I do feel like keeping them off social media is a thing. But I kind of, as I was growing up, early 20s or whatever, it was a thing to post. Like, I don't know if you remember Man Crush Mondays, or
I remember
things like that. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was a thing where if you didn't post them, it was like a disrespect thing. Like, oh, you ain't gonna post me and everybody else post. It was really a thing. That's why I said younger me, it was important for me, because I feel like, well, what are you hiding? Why you can't show me? But now, looking at it in hindsight, I'm like, okay, I understand why you maybe would not want to post me. I say right now, I probably wouldn't want to post my relationship, like, moving forward.
Right.
Like, if you guys see us out, that's cool, but yeah, I'm kind of past that.
What up, though, Carly? You on the air?
Hi, Ty. Hi, Shanny Shan.
Hey, Gigi.
Hey, y'all. I'm just popping in real quick because I just got out of a meeting, so I came to see what was going on. Real quick, I just seen the topic, and for me, it will be a private thing. It'll be a pop out every now and then. Like, you would know I have a partner, but it's not going to be anything that's like, I can't post art every minute of every day, because it's just some things are in the moment and what they're for. So, and my husband is for me. It ain't for y'all.
Facts.
So
heavy on that.
No fiction on that.
Just know, if we married, he doing what he's supposed to do, and I am too, and that's it. That's all. It ain't for everybody, and I don't look for outside validation. It's certain moments where it's like, I just want to appreciate him, and it'll be a conversation, because if he's a very private person, I'm going to respect his privacy.
Got you.
That manner. You know what I'm saying? And as well as he would respect mine. But like, for me, honestly, you ain't going to know until we already locked in and married.
That's it.
That's it.
So we
it's
here.
Just pop out and be like, dang, I ain't even know you was supposed to.
Exactly.
It ain't for you. Those who know will know, and they'll know us.
And then people don't know how to attack. People don't know how to attack that way. If you don't let them know nothing, they don't know which way to go.
Right.
Yeah,
that's
and
true.
I don't need to let y'all know how good he getting it over here. Just know. If you happy, then you already know how good it is.
Yeah. That's real. That's real. That is real.
Right,
I definitely appreciate you calling in, Gigi.
Thank you, Gigi.
Of course. Love y'all. Bye.
Love you too. Bye.
Peace. Yeah, that's real.
That is real. So she said kind of what you were saying. Have the conversation. See where your partner is at with, being live and vocal on Facebook.
Yeah,
So I know some couples, they just have a page for themselves and then they have their own separate pages.
Yeah,
so
like Kadeen and DeVal.
So pretty much that is where all of the couple content go, and then they still have their own personal pages to, be themselves or whatever, or do whatever you were doing prior to. So
I definitely understand that. But I do think you do have to remind people though, because people are very disrespectful.
That is true.
And also people can be they can be ignorant, you know, so sometimes you might have to remind them like, hey, yo, this is what's going on. Like, people could slide in your DMs and you could tell them you married and they be like, so I keep taking that. Like, what?
Exactly.
Like,
the disrespect nowadays is something different.
I mean, but you know what? I don't even blame that on the new generation. I don't blame it on social media at all. What I blame it on is back in the day, it stemmed way before social media. The disrespect always been there. That's why granddad, great granddad, they had other families on the other side of town. Nobody knew about them, and if they did, they kept it a secret and kept it moving as long as the bills was paid. So I understand that this has been a thing for generations. So it ain't social media. In my personal opinion, I just think social media amplified everything because it's too much easy access to people versus back when we was riding horses. So yeah, I understand that. I definitely understand that.
I agree with that for sure. Now, how do you feel about couples being friends on social media? Do you think that that's healthy? Do you think that kind of cause strain? That's a tough one.
Okay.
That's a tough one.
Okay. Here's my honest opinion.
Okay.
I believe if I had my own social media site, I would make it so I would have a setting to where there was a balance between how much that other person saw. Like
privacy settings in a sense?
Not really privacy settings, but more so like, okay, you seen this person's post about 2 or 3 times today, depending on how many times they posted. The rest of the day, if they decide to post, you don't need to see no more. So you're not seeing just everything they post, because guess what? At the end of the day, my wife might not like everything I post. I might not like everything she posts. So I think it should be more of a balance of how much you see. If I was to control it, that's how I would do it. Because again, my thoughts, she might not think every time I put something out there, it need to be shared. But I might feel like, oh, I got to put this out here. You know what I mean? So, or we could just talk about it and come to some type of common ground, whatever that looks like. But I do think it should be more of a balance. However, if you know, and fellas, this is really for you guys, actually for both. If you are insecure, not only should you get yourself together and stay your ass out of a relationship, you damn sure don't need to be on social media with each other, because it's people out here that are really ridiculous as far as to who liked your picture or who always loving something you say. Little petty stuff that don't need to be an argument becomes an argument. So I do personally believe that if you are those types of people, you don't need to be in a relationship or social media. But if you're going to be in a relationship, stay off social media. That's just my opinion. Because you ain't going to be able to handle what comes with it. Like, I think people are really oblivious to the fact that just because they find somebody attractive and they decided to take them serious, ain't nobody else going to find them attractive. Like,
we have to be realistic.
Exactly. Be realistic. Stop living in fantasy land. Stop living in what you like, the Lulu. Yeah, so stop doing that.
Listen, sometimes the Lulu is a Lulu. Not in all instances, but yeah.
Yeah, I definitely believe that. Yep, Brittany says social media exposed what's already there. That's true.
That is true.
That's true. So I definitely agree. But yeah, it could be a slippery slope. You need to know who you're dealing with before you even. I think personally, you should get to know the person before you see how they are on social media.
Yeah.
And then at that point, you can make a judgment call whether you want to follow them or not. That's true. That's how I see it.
You do have free will on who you want to follow, and the things that you choose to consume and or listen to. So I agree with that as well.
Yeah. I definitely think that it should be more of a conversation and more of an understanding between two people and comprehension for real. Like, just because somebody say one thing, you might believe something different, and seeing sometimes can be believing for you. Even if it's just on something on social media. Like some people post things that are in a relationship that most people wouldn't let fly, but that's because they have a certain relationship or their person does not follow them on social media. I got a homie right now.
So they going crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a homie now. He told me straight up, my girl don't follow me. We don't follow each other.
And some people really feel like that because they like, hey, just let me do what I'm gonna do on my page. Just as social media, this is just basically for entertainment purposes. Yeah. Anything that I say on here, that's just what it is. Yeah. Some people like no, because those thoughts are your thoughts. You have to agree. So that's why I said some people feel like you should follow on social media, others feel like you shouldn't. So just to keep the confusion down, I personally,
So I got a question for you, Telly.
That's interesting because I have followed.
I know
my significant other at the time on social media.
I got a question for you though. You have your own podcast now called One Step Closer.
Yes, thank you.
Shout out to your first episode airing last week. Got another one coming on tomorrow.
Yes, these weeks are quick.
Now that you have your own podcast, how would you feel about your significant other, whoever he may be one day, tapping into your live, watching your show, or even inquiring about whoever you have on your show?
I mean, I wouldn't mind him supporting me. So if that means that he has to, be on my socials to do that, I will be fine with it, to share to like that type of stuff. I'm okay with. It's when we get to the maybe more personal things, whether that's the good memories or, if we're going through issues or whatever the case may be, that's the stuff that I wouldn't necessarily want to be on social media. But we don't have to just be 100%, private. Like if you see my podcast on there, you want to support me, good luck, share it, definitely do that. But, or even inquiring, hey, you got some ideas, things like that. So I think I'll be more open with that because when people are coming from a genuine place. Okay. And I will want my guy to support me. So that is one way that he can do that.
Okay. So dig this. Let's say you make a flyer, right? Because you damn good at making flyers.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Let's say you make a flyer with you and somebody that you're interviewing. Somebody you're interviewing just so happen to be attractive. Your dude, whoever it is at the time, decides that he has a problem with who you're about to interview. What do you say to that?
Well, what I would do to cut that down is I would invite him. I would invite him to come and sit at the table with me while I do my podcast so that you can see, because I just feel like it may not just be him. So I want my dude at some point to feel comfortable enough to be like, hey, I know this is, I've seen the setup. I know this is what, you do. I know you have guests on, but I've allowed him now into my world where he won't have to have that as a insecurity or thinking another type of way. I would just invite him on to eliminate that. And that way I still keep my guests that's moving forward from my show, but I also, make my guy feel comfortable in whatever he doesn't. So it obviously is for, a reason. So whatever that is, just finding a root.
I think that's a great problem solver. Just put him right in the
like
area.
This is what it is. This is what you're getting, and this is what I'm doing.
Put him right in the vicinity. That's what's up. That's real. I like that. I believe I would do the same thing. I would definitely do the same thing.
Just for a level of comfortability. Yeah. Like if you can keep things kosher, why not?
Yeah, that's real. That's real. Rich, what's up, man? He said, I think some people are so weak-minded when it comes to social media. I agree, they are. And that's why they need to stay their ass off social media. It ain't for everybody else. It's not. Honestly, I'm not even going to lie. Even though I benefit from being on social media, I wholeheartedly wish that it stayed for college kids only. Yeah. I swear I do. And I'm not a college kid. I swear I would, because had it stayed with college kids, it wouldn't be this bad. I don't think it'd be this bad. I don't think it'd be this bad at all. It let a lot of ignorant people in. Not saying people that go to college just because they educated don't make them ignorant, because I know a lot of ignorant, educated people. However, at least everybody will know what it was with everybody else. Oh, you graduated from Stanford. Oh, you graduated from Harvard. Oh, I know you got a good job. I know you got a good job. Boom. we're somewhat aligned with each other. Now it's just a playing field full of everybody. Some people fronting, renting cars off Turo, renting Airbnbs, and then acting like all of this stuff is there, tricking women, whatever. Too much of that going on. When you know you went to college and you got your degree and you've been cemented in your job for a long time, you good to go. I wish social media didn't open up for everybody else. I swear.
Yeah, that's where a lot of stuff started happening. And here's the thing about posting your marriage on social media. Should it make it? I personally feel like if everybody kept their relationship off of social media, it would allow people not to compare. Like you're comparing only because you see matching outfits or you see them going on vacation, and now you like, well, why is my relationship, why I'm not doing that? And then you start comparing, and then comparing is, stealing your joy and things like that. So I just feel like if we all just kept our relationships, marriages off of social media and just dealt with things in-house, we will be a lot better, a lot stronger. I feel like a lot of things would be able to be talked about, handled, and then moved past. Yeah. Because with social media, you not only have to deal with the initial embarrassment of it happening, but the embarrassment of social media, and then maybe family, friends. So you have all of those eyes kind of looking in on what you and your partner have going on, and so that can cause a lot of confusion.
Yeah, if I could go back and change something, I definitely would have did that. Honestly, I would have kept me and my wife under wraps. Okay. A little more than what I did. Like, even with her being my girl at the time.
Got it. Okay, so it even stand back from there.
Yeah, because it too much. Believe it or not, a lot of drama came from us being together. You know what I'm saying? So with all that drama, you throw social media in the pot, it's amplified like crazy. Then on top of that, I'm talking about our relationship, I'm talking about our past. So it brought a lot of unwarranted attention and issues that didn't need to be issues. So that's the one thing I regret is that. But other than that, I'm all for it. God don't make no mistakes. So I understand whatever happened. But if I could change something, it definitely would have been that. Definitely would have been that.
And that's something I think that's a growth, dynamic too. Like when you're able to be like, hey, this is what I would have done differently to be able to get, that different result. I feel like that's what makes all of the difference when you actually able to be like, hey, certain ways and certain things that I used to do, I wouldn't move like that. And that's kind of what I said before. I used to be like, oh, every Wednesday I'm looking for a Women Crush Wednesday, because I just felt like, well, why not? I'm like, well, why not? So it's just more so on one of those things to where, yeah, I would keep my relationship off of social media unless it's for, job related purposes or just for support and things like that. So
I agree. I definitely agree with you on that.
Yes,
man. But I think that once people communicate with each other and find some common ground, it wouldn't be so bad. But until that happens, it's gonna always be a mess.
I agree.
Especially with couples like that, because let's just say you in the light and your dude ain't. He not gonna understand people hitting you up at weird times.
That is true.
Sending you stuff, asking you stuff. You know what I'm saying? They not gonna understand that.
Yeah. And then too, I brought up the solution of bringing them with you, but they may not want to be in the spotlight with you,
right?
Because they don't like being in it just by themselves or for themselves. So you have to really take that into consideration too, when posting or when sharing and things like that. So
got you.
Just take the other person into consideration when posting on social media, because even though you post and you delete it, it's still out there. People can screen record now. People can save to the archive, save and favorite. So just understand that what's out there is out there. Yeah. And you may not be the same person that you were 5 or 10 minutes ago. You may not be in that same mindset, thought process, or anything like that. So with that being said, please be cautious and aware of what you post, because once it's out there, it's out there. So
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, if you end up watching this playback, sorry that we went off live. Rhea just texted me to ask me what happened.
What's going on? So sorry.
So it's all right. Once we done, I'm a put it out there again for everybody to see, so it's all good.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Just go back, catch the playback, remember where you was at, and go from there, because this was a great show. But it's all good. If things happen, it's all right. We keeping it rolling. But anywho, so again, now that you got your own podcast, what would you say to your boyfriend or husband wanting to come on the show and talk about y'all issues?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
That's tough. I would not want him to necessarily come onto a platform to talk about our differences. Yeah. Especially if we have not had the initial conversation in-house first.
Right.
About our issues and things like that. I personally wouldn't use a social media platform to be able to, be a therapist or be a relief, or having just other people into our business. I would actually go and seek a therapist first. But now if he just wanted to come on and we created content together and things like that, now that's different. I don't mind us going and growing and going forth together, and he may find a liking or understand more of what I do by just doing those little things with me. But I don't think I would necessarily use the platform for, sharing our issues. Cause
I get it, but what if it might have helped if y'all talked about okay, and I'm not talking about in the thick of y'all issues. I'm not talking about something fresh. What I mean is, what if something happened, y'all got past it, but y'all sharing y'all story to help somebody else?
That's a good take on that. It's a good perspective, because I do feel like the things that we go through, it can help another couple, another individual. I do really believe that, so I wouldn't want to be the one to make the decision like, oh no, I'm not saying nothing, and then not fulfill my duty of being the one that helped them in whatever capacity that is.
Well, no, not even necessarily just helping somebody specifically. I'm just saying in general, like y'all talked, basically you sitting down there with your dude and y'all talking about something that y'all overcame, and people are listening. You got listeners, you got an audience, and then that's like, oh, you know what me and my significant other went through ain't nothing compared to what y'all went through. So we need to be able to grow up and get over this.
And we can make
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I said. I wouldn't want to, stop me or him from being able to do that for others. So if we've talked about it, if it's not that fresh, and we've gotten to a point to where we've actually healed from it and have discussed like, hey, this could essentially help others, then I would be okay with it. I would be okay with it. Yeah. It would just have to have a conversation, a deep conversation about it.
Yeah. I learned my lesson the hard way about talking about something prematurely. Yeah. And my wife, she said, I don't have a problem with you talking about what we went through. I got a problem with you talking about it, and we didn't get no clarity with each other.
Got it. Now that's it. Yeah. Because I don't want to learn new stuff on the show, or while we're out. I want to know all of these things. Yeah. And then when we're in the process of helping each other, it's not like, oh, in my mind I'm like, oh, well, I didn't know that part of the story. Like that's why I said I want to know everything, and then we can work towards putting the content out to be able to help others. But definitely, until we get it established ourselves, I don't feel like we'll even be in the right position to help others. Right. Because we haven't gotten through it yet.
Exactly. So I think that's dope, because in that moment, I never made that mistake again. I would ask my wife, hey, you got a problem when we talking about this? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And that just keeps down confusion. And it's respect. It's respect for your spouse. So I feel like that speaks volumes. Okay, cool. Because I feel like that's where the anger comes in at, is when the other party doesn't know, or it's like, it kind of slaps them in the face. And like I said, you just scrolling and you just so happen to run across something now it's new information, or you like, they really think like that? Like, without knowing any type of context as to why it was said, or, why it was done, or just the perspective. Right. And like you said, a lot of things is based on how you grew up. So people algorithms are different, so you really have to just take that into consideration with social media.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So I'm glad that you would do that though. That's fire. That's fire.
You saw me a little shaky in the beginning. I'm like, I don't know. But like I said, if we get to that point where we can help others, who am I to stop that? Because I may be that for someone.
Got you. That's cool too. Now, how would you feel about somebody trying to holler at you while you're like in your field? Would you talk to somebody in your field?
It's not ideal. It's not ideal for me to talk to somebody in my field, only because when I'm done with, you know, whatever the media side of things or the media world, I want to be able to talk about something different.
Got
or
you.
see things, or just ask them like, hey, how was your day? What happened in construction, or what happened in, you know, the car center, or whatever occupation he has, like what happened in your world.
Okay.
So if we have the same worlds, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, movies, film.
So you think it's gonna get boring?
You know, essentially,
Yeah.
like it's good when it's good, because like you said, he'll understand what I do, the hours, the guests, the shows, and all of that. But when it comes time to me having to, you know, turn on another cap or whatever the case may be, it may be difficult if we're aligning just that much. Like I feel like the difference can create the balance.
Yeah. And you know what? I asked you that because, you know, at one point, me and my wife, we were talking, joking. She was like, you know, if me and you ever ended up done, you'll probably be with somebody in media. And I'm like, I get where she was coming from, but at the same time, I actually appreciate the balance that we have with her not being in media. Even though I originally wanted her to be in there,
got it.
I can understand. I see the balance and how it can be kind of good.
Got it.
Because the last thing I want is to be disconnected. Like I ain't gonna lie, and y'all can kill me for saying this, but I would rather have a toxic relationship than to lose a connection. I would rather it be toxic, because when you disconnected from your person, it feels horrible, because it's like you're in a very lost spot. You know what I mean? It's like you're in purgatory almost. Like, yeah, we together, but it don't feel like it.
That's interesting. That can be a trauma response. But I get it though. I get what you're saying, only because you're like, hey, this is familiar. So even if it's toxic, I know this side of things. Yeah. I know the toxic side. So I'm cool. Like, I know we gonna go through our stuff. We gonna get mad. We gonna get back. You know what I'm saying? So that cycle is what we're used to. So a lot of people do feel like that. Like, hey, I'd rather go through the toxic stuff with you than start fresh over with another person. So I get that dynamic. I just think it may be more so of like just a trauma response.
Yeah.
Because I feel like nobody wants to thrive in toxicity, but it's that familiarity. Like, hey, I know this game. Yeah. I'm good at this game, so I'll keep it up. And some people do feel like that when they get into relationships. About just keeping the toxic side up. So.
Yeah, and that's another thing about posting your significant other to some degree, that could be toxic. And here's why. You got some people that's in relationships.
Let's hear this theory. Okay,
listen, you got some people that's in relationships that have moved on. But apparently, whether they had kids with the person from their past or not, they will use the person that they're with to taunt the old person. And I've seen that happen, and I'm like, well, what's the point? If you moved on and you happy, why are you taunting the old person?
That leads me to believe that it isn't really a move on. Or it's a control factor.
Or, okay, now here's the thing. It can still be toxic no matter how you slice it. It could be toxic on the sense of, I'm either not over my past.
Right.
Or it could be toxic in the sense of, hey, I know you mad. I don't care. I'm about to keep doing me. Keep watching. You know, because there's some weird people that like they get blocked and still be looking at your page.
That's true. So, they be the others at the bottom.
Yeah,
I see you.
Yeah, exactly.
But
so that's what I'm saying. Like how that can actually happen and how that can turn toxic. Because here it is, you got the person that you used to be with paying attention to what you're doing, or vice versa, and then there's a consistent like anger issue going on between somebody being bitter and somebody being childish with the bitterness.
So are you blocking?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. So here's
that's the thing. I'm not a blocker. I'm not a blocker because I'm just like, okay, this is my ideology. If I block you, I feel like you've won. I feel like I've given you that much power over what I post, my page, whatever the case may be. phone number, if I block you, that means that I feel like you've won.
No, so see you looking at it.
See, that's my ideology, and I can't let you win.
No, I'm about to tell you why your train. I get your train of thought, but you looking at it from a petty aspect. Let's be logical. Let's be logical.
All one with me.
No, it's not. No, it's not. So here's the thing.
Okay.
Look at it from a logical standpoint. Let's say somebody is literally coming at you online, right? Or coming at your person. You know, like you post them. Some dude is in the comment that's like you and talking crazy, right? So you block this person. More than likely, they're going to figure out another way to jump on your page. Yeah. Right. So that's now this
or
is
another platform.
Right. But this is the one side that I do understand you on. Why block if you're going to find another way to be on there? But my thing is, nah, I want to cut contact. See, at this rate, no, listen, hear me out.
Okay.
I want to completely cut the contact. When people, most of the time, because I've been through this, most of the time when people make new pages to try to see what you're doing or leave comments or whatever to taunt you, they don't let it be known that they're them. So
of course.
But at that point, you won. You made this weirdo.
But how would you know that it's them?
Because guess what? Let me tell you something about stalkers and weirdos. Or they both one and the same. They do not change their language.
That's true.
They don't change their verbiage.
That is true.
Yeah.
You're the same person behind this keyboard. That's true.
So here's where you win. I made your dumb, desperate ass go create a whole new page just to see me. Come on, Telly. Don't tell me you don't see it from my side.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I want you to say you see it from my side because
say it.
I see where you coming from with it, but
I can get yours. I can get yours.
And I get your point too. However, they can both be looked at as a win. You know what I'm saying? Whether you don't do it and just keep them in the circle of social media world or not. But the moment that person uses another email address to create a whole new page,
now that's
just to
toxic.
see what you doing,
that's the part that's toxic.
Cooked.
That's the part that's toxic to me. But I just feel like I would delete whatever the person is saying that's out of line. I would delete the messages and things like that before I actually block them.
Okay, so what if somebody made a post tagging you in it, talking crazy about you, but they're not even talking crazy about you, they talking about your guy.
See,
then what? See, that's what.
Because I typically I don't have that type of stuff happen, but in that instance, sure,
but
I can see why you will block it just to eliminate it. But again, once it's out there, it's out there.
It's out there, true. But do you got to keep being tied to it? You wouldn't want to keep your name tied to somebody being messy. So
that's true.
Especially if they want to talk about who you're with because they mad or whatever.
Yeah,
you wouldn't want your name tied.
That's not a good look.
That's not a good look for you or your brand. Your best bet is to separate yourself from that.
So that's why you feel like the blocking is necessary.
Is
okay.
Now, if I was just a regular old average Joe, I wouldn't care. Now I have to do it.
Okay. That's true because they're not only coming after you, your brand, your character. Yeah, that okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay,
so that's
the social media beef can be real.
Yeah.
So,
but see, that's what I don't like. That's what I don't like about this era in social media of because a lot of beefs do start over women. Let's be real.
It does.
I say at least. Maybe 85% of beef starts from women.
Sadly.
Yeah, so...
And it don't even be facts, but...
Right, but then you post who you with. Somebody's still mad, somebody's still bitter. They coming on your page, they attacking them or attacking you. All because they're mad, but at the same time, it's like, okay, you had your fun, you had your turn, you should have enjoyed it and move on just like that person did.
Yeah, that's why, like I was saying earlier, if you move in silence, they don't know how to attack. They like, oh, what's going on? But sometimes I do feel like you should maybe, make it known that it is, a relationship because people think that if you don't post it, it's not happening.
There you go.
So
there you go.
Sadly, people really think that in this era that if you do not post it, then it's not happening. It's like that is so sad how conditioned we are to people posting, and we really think like, oh, they ain't posted today, they ain't on social media. Whole time they're behind the scenes. It's okay to be behind the scenes sometimes too. Everything don't need to be in everybody's face. Long as you're happy with your spouse, your mate,
That's it. That's all that matters.
Social media don't really matter, and social media is not even real.
Hey, I can't wait for the internet to shut down again.
Social media, we lost our minds.
I swear, I can't
listen.
wait
When TikTok, oh my goodness,
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
When TikTok shut down.
Okay, when TikTok shut down, all right,
I was in shambles.
Okay, but remember, it was a time where Facebook and Instagram was shut down.
Oh yeah. People lost their minds.
I feel like that needs to happen at least once a month. I swear.
It would be so much chaos. And that'll force people to have to go outside.
It won't be. That's the thing. It won't be chaos. Mm-hmm. It's going to force people to be people and not who the hell they pretending to be online.
Behind the keyboard. That's true.
I can say with confidence, I am who I am on and off camera. Mm-hmm. I don't have I'm not hiding nothing.
That's real.
Unfortunately, I put information out there that probably didn't need to go out there, but it was for me, really.
Yeah.
Because it was like, all right, I know this fool about to come out of nowhere and use something against me, whether it's real or fake. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me go ahead and talk about it, nip it in the bud, so when I do blow up, when my brand blows up, they not talk about it's time to cancel Todd because he did this 20 years ago. Nah,
right.
Ain't none of that, because I already talked about it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now, I think that is a good way to approach things. So, like, again, people don't know how to attack. Oh, that's old news. I already didn't say that. I got that out. You know that now. So, it's nothing essentially that you can use on me that I haven't already told you.
Indeed.
And the only reason that you can use it is because I gave you the tools. I told you. So, I get that. I get that for sure.
Yeah.
But again, to just social media just not being real. Just don't believe everything you see on social media. Everybody that just looks like they just doing this and that. It's things going on behind closed doors. We all got things going on. So don't compare. If you can, just don't compare.
And I'm big on, this is where I'm big on talking to everybody about the realization of a situation, of a relationship or a marriage. Mm-hmm. Nothing is perfect about a marriage.
Oh, no.
Nothing is perfect about no relationship.
No.
So I'm quick to
We not perfect.
Right. So I'm quick to talk about, hey, look, I made this mistake, my guys. Don't do what I did. Handle it this way.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm big on originality and being realistic. Mm-hmm. I couldn't fake the funk. I can't I wouldn't be able to sit here and be like, oh yeah, man, my wife she's so great and she's perfect all the time. No, she's not.
Let's be real.
Like I'm not. She make mistakes.
Yeah.
She falls off. I do too.
Yeah. Oh, you mean being human?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's all it is, essentially. So
yeah, so it's not cool to compare, because each couple gonna have their own line of struggles. Yes. I think people, back to what you said about comparing, people need to stop having couple goals.
Ooh, yes.
I think you need to start having couple motivation.
Because that used to really be a thing.
Yeah.
And couple goals was just matching outfits.
Exactly.
It was just the trips. Oh, we here.
Yeah.
Couple goals.
Yeah.
Oh, we got... what was it? The flipograms with the songs.
Yeah,
Like, I was in that era. Like, when they were doing that. And it was a couple goals. Y'all so cute. But their relationship couldn't withstand the hard stuff. So that's why I say everything that you see on social media, it ain't that.
It ain't it.
Make sure you water your own grass and just keep working on your own foundation.
Exactly.
So.
And that's what's hard for people to do. As soon as they see, you could post one picture with your person and then all of a sudden, oh, I know they this, I know they that.
They got your whole life down packed.
Like, listen. Me and my wife, we went to a Tigers game not too long ago. And I posted a pic. I ain't posted a pic of me and her in so long.
Got it. Okay.
Right? Posted a pic of me and her. Mm-hmm. People were like, oh, it was so lovely, blah, blah, blah. And it's cool. But guess what? While we were at that game, even though we were enjoying ourselves, we were going through hell. Okay? So while we were going through stuff, we're just trying to enjoy ourselves through the hell.
That's it.
So,
because you have to go through the storm.
Yes.
Because tough times don't last. Tough people do. And that's what I said, just going back to making sure your foundation is strong, watering your own grass, because you have to go and grow through it. Yeah. So that's the only way you're going to get to the other side. But you're not getting there just, solely, with no experience. You are going there with experience this time. So
right.
I feel like that's dope.
Yeah,
that is dope.
Yeah, man. But that's what I like to push for. I mean, you know, like I said, season 4 was all about marriage, and I wanted to just bring some reality to the people that are looking to get married, and you know, talking to other couples about their struggles or whatnot, or even people that don't want to get married, and explain why. I get all of that, and that's why season 4 was so important to me. Even though season 5 about to be something totally different, I
believe that. I don't know what you got up your sleeve, but I'm ready for it.
I'm really happy about season 5, man. I'm really excited. Like season 5 is gonna be something different, but I'm glad that I took this route for season 4 because I really wanted to not only have a more solution-based conversation about marriages and relationships, I also wanted to put these narratives to the end, you know, because every couple ain't gonna deal with everything the same way. Every couple not gonna work together like you and your significant other might work together. So I think what I wanted to make room for is less judgment and more progress. Just do the work and do what works for you. That's it.
That's it. At the end of the day gotta end.
Yeah.
So I feel like, yeah.
And thank you, Tully, because you definitely helped season 4 be great.
No problem. I feel like that, yeah, the topics, literally, it was great for season 4. Just letting people know that, hey, marriage is a beautiful thing, but before you get married, just understand that it is work.
Yes.
So if you're not ready, do not enter it until you are ready.
Yeah.
And healed.
Oh my God, yes. You better be healed.
Heavy on the heel.
You better be healed. And I'm not talking about being 100% healed, because none of us are. I'm still holding on to certain things that happened from my childhood. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing major, but it's like something that I know is triggering for me.
Yeah.
Like, prime example, I hate it when somebody make Captain Obvious ass statements to me, because I grew up with my mom doing that. So it's a trigger if somebody I'm involved with does it. You feel me?
But you want to know something? You won't know if you're completely healed until you are triggered. That's gonna be the only way you're gonna really know. Like, hey, if I'm over this, do I react the same way? Is it still bothersome for me? That's how you will know. That's one indicator if you are actually healed and or moving on from that particular situation.
What I can say is, I don't respond the same way when I do deal with that type of stuff.
Good.
You know
That's how you know you're growing.
Yeah, I don't deal with it the same way. Normally, I'm quick to cut somebody out about saying something stupid to me, like some Captain Obvious shit. And I'm not even just talking about with who I'm involved with. I mean, it could be anything, like a coworker or something. I don't respond the same way. My go-to used to always be anger first, everything else last. So
now you pissed and they going on about their day.
Right. So what I do, so now it's dropped some. So I dropped from anger to condescending.
Look, I'm a work in progress. What do you want from me? But at least you are growing. At least you have acknowledged that you've grown. So I feel like you said, just changing the way that you handle certain situations is a indicator that you're growing. Yeah. So
yeah, definitely.
That's good. That's what we should be doing every day. Yeah. We should not be staying the same.
No, we should not. And going back to the topic too, like, at some point you do have to change on social media too. And people fail to realize that you gotta grow even on there.
Man,
I'm sorry, I don't post the same stuff I posted 10 years ago.
I can't go
backwards. And the one time I
don't want to.
And even though I went backwards one time, and the one time I went backwards, it was only to nip something in the bud once and for all and be done with it. But that one time, I still didn't even handle it the same way I would have handled it, because I'm one of them people, I don't know how to get even. I'm gonna go overboard. I go for the over. There you go. I take it too far.
That's why I don't bother people. I don't want people bothering me, because I'm gonna take it too far.
So other than that, I just can't go back to being the same person on social media that I was 10 years ago. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago off social media.
And you got stuff to lose now. Like you said, you have a whole brand.
Yes.
I don't know if you had that 10 years or so ago.
No, I did not. Had nothing.
You see what I'm saying? So you essentially didn't have nothing to lose. Now you do, so you move like that. And I feel like that's how we should move. Like, we're growing out here, y'all. We should not be up here with the middle finger up, with the pants sagging still, with the you know, like,
I can never do that for sure. I haven't held my
And
middle
that's for
finger up.
females and males.
Yeah, I haven't held my middle finger up in the picture in so long. I haven't sagged my pants.
It's quite
shorts
embarrassing.
in so long, bro. So
It's quite embarrassing
yeah,
because
I'm
pull your pants
about to
up.
be 41 in June. I ain't got time for that shit.
Like, come-
crazy. You crazy.
And now you wondering why younger people don't, respect older people because
Yeah.
it's like y'all look alike.
Yeah. But dog, this was a great show though.
It was.
It was a great show. Man.
It was.
Appreciate you for the topic. That was fire.
No problem.
Clutch. Very clutch.
It was fire because I feel like a lot of people can resonate with social media, and even if it's not from a marriage standpoint, just from a relationship standpoint, everybody done been in those. So it's like, yeah. So in conclusion, what I would say is now my marriage and a relationship would not make it to social media. And that was just my growth from earlier on with me feeling like it had to be on social media, feeling like that validation from others or whatever the case may be. Now it's like, I'd rather just be behind the scenes, as you see.
Yeah.
The engineering behind the scenes. A lot of stuff happens behind the scenes. So
most definitely.
Essentially, yes.
I would say this: if you're gonna do it, make sure you do it within reason. Make sure you're not just posting just to be posting. You know what I'm saying? If you about to post your wife or post your husband, it should be something behind it. Like if I honestly, if I didn't have to be on social media, I wouldn't be. I have to be on social media.
But then how we gonna get our clips?
Right. So I have to be on here constantly more than I would probably like to be, but one thing I can say is that when I'm going through it, I'm not on here like that. So, and if I am, it's only to lift myself up because you're
At
in
least you
control.
know how to balance that.
Yeah, you're in control of your algorithms. So you might see something that might brighten up your day. You know what I'm saying? And it gets you out of your funk. So I love things like that, but definitely let it be for a reason. Like it can't just be just cause. Like when I posted a picture of me and my wife being at the game, that was our first baseball game together. So it was a reason behind. It was a reason behind that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was dope. But yeah, definitely make it be for a reason because you don't want to attract unwarranted attention, and you definitely don't want to put your person in any type of way as far as other people are reaching out is being concerned. Because that was a mistake I made early on in my relationship. I would post my wife a lot. All these weirdos that I don't talk to but know who I am, requesting to follow her. Weird stuff, So yeah, I definitely think
don't do that.
Yeah, definitely it's weird, but hey, people do it.
People do it.
When people see what you got and they want it, they think they got a shot. They're gonna do it.
Yeah,
And that's fine.
out of respect, I used to ask, like, "Hey,
Is this
are they
person
cool?"
cool?
Like,
My wife does that.
You have to because that
Yeah.
again, that conversation eliminates any BS moving forward. Like, "Hey, I didn't know you was following my home." No, are they cool? Are they genuine? Is this a weirdo? You get what I'm saying? Because they'll stay right in the requested friend. So it's conversations like that has to be had, and I feel like it'll make a stronger foundation because nothing is, being kept from y'all or each other. So
yeah, that's it. Great show. Everybody that tapped in, my bad about the connection, but y'all gonna be catching
We gonna get it real soon.
Y'all gonna catch the playback, and it's gonna be great. Get in the comments on YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel at Talks Wit Todd. That's Talks Wit, WIT, Todd, TODD. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check me out there. And start watching live from there as well. All right? We out of here, y'all. Thank you, Telly.
no problem.
Indeed.
Alrighty.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talks with Todd.